a 99.9% chance this is gonna happen to you in life. And that's just kind of falling for someone that doesn't feel the same way as you.
This isn't sad, this is happy. A year ago, I made a video opening up about my first ever heartbreak. At the time, I made that video fully for myself. What I didn't realize is how many of you needed it just as much as me. Today, I'm reopening that heartache to reflect on what I've learned in that year's time.
Lead me to the place where no one ever goes.
I'm just gonna warn you guys, this is gonna be pretty long. If you want to, definitely comment below your stories of any kind of heartbreak, how you got through it, any of that kind of stuff. And I'll be replying to people's comments. If you're going through stuff, I definitely wanna help you. So yeah, this video is gonna be very long-winded. I'm sorry, kind of, not really. Let's get into it. Super quick backstory. Last summer, I ended things with a guy that I had liked for 3 years. Back in 2015, we met, we hit it off. We did have a few months of both back and forth liking each other. And then he just started to get wishy-washy when it could have been real. He just wasn't sure, he said. So I waited. I stayed his friend and I waited, and I thought he would come around. I waited while he hooked up with other girls, and I heard about other girlfriend type things. And while I waited, that just hurt me and hurt me and hurt me. When someone isn't sure about you, it makes you feel like you're not good enough. It made me feel like I wasn't pretty enough, I wasn't smart enough, I didn't have enough money, I wasn't successful enough, I wasn't funny enough, I wasn't enough of anything, and I would compare myself to other girls. I just constantly felt like I wasn't enough, and that isn't totally his fault, like that's on me, but it's really not cool when someone doesn't know if they want to be with you, okay? That made me feel not good about myself, and that's something that I lived with for the 3 years that I liked him and that I was friends with him. After being friends with him for around 3 years and constantly feeling like I wasn't good enough and wanting to be with him and waiting around, it was finally realizing that I am not the problem and you are not the problem, and you shouldn't be waiting around for someone when they have problems. And I'm not saying like these people have issues. Everyone has problems, everyone has baggage, but if they're not willing to address their problems or fix their problems, it's not your job to try and help them or wait for them. That's their problem. You're not gonna fix them. He definitely has major intimacy issues. He would always get close enough that it was kind of exciting and kind of lead girls on, but not close enough to hurt himself. And I realized that. I was like, he just will never open up. I don't want to be with someone who's never going to open up. What am I waiting around for? His issues were something that were never going to change, and that were something I would never want in a relationship. And I knew, why am I hurting myself like this? I need to let go and move on. I was just stagnant for 3 years. I was not getting anywhere. I wasn't growing in that department of relationships and love, and that's what I needed to do for me. In the moment, I was definitely afraid that I would regret it. I would regret the way I did it, what I said, and now a year later, I do not regret any word that I said, the way that I did it, anything about it. I'm so happy with how I did it. For me, it was being able to kind of break up with him, even though we never dated. On my own terms, I got to decide, like, I need to kind of break up with you. And that's how I finally got my closure. I needed that closure on my terms, selfishly. When I broke up with him, I laid it all out there. I told him how much he meant to me even that day. I called him out on his issues, to even when I was like, I just can't ever see you again. It was pretty dramatic. And I even remember when he was walking out the door, he said, "See you around." And I said, "No, you won't." And I shut the door. But I don't regret a single thing I said. I meant everything that I said, and I'm happy living with what I said. I said I was gonna do this a million times before I finally did. And if you're in this situation, you'll probably do the same. I have a lot of friends that are doing the same. And what I tell them is, okay, you're gonna live with yourself, and he's gonna text you or she's gonna hang out with you, and it's gonna feel better for the aftermath. afternoon, and you're gonna think, hey, that person isn't so bad. And then that's gonna wear off the next time it gets frustrating because you remember that you're not getting what you want. And finally one day, you're just gonna be so sick of it, it's gonna come out of you and you're gonna say it. You're gonna be afraid, but you're finally gonna do it. And that's pretty much what happened for me. So many times I said I was gonna do it. And finally, just this one day, I was so sick of feeling the way I did, I finally just did it. Letting go hurts. You saw something special in that person, and there's a reason that you held on for so long. So when you do let go, it can feel like a loss, and it can feel like someone died, but it's not a loss, it's a gain. To take from one of my friends who has always given me really good advice, he was the one that told me, you know, Monica, you can't look at this as a loss. You're actually gaining so much from this situation. You're gaining yourself back, you're gaining this positivity in your life back and like your sanity, and you're gaining the opportunity to let yourself let go. I didn't realize it until now looking back, but I really did everything right for me to heal properly. Some people can have the tendency to jump into a new relationship. It can be a quick fix, really, to get the other person off your mind. But whatever messed you up from that previous relationship, you're not addressing those issues and you're not fixing them. And for me, I did not want to jump into meeting anyone new. I was really quite the opposite. I was so done with boys and I just wanted to focus on myself, which is exactly what you should do. For me, I experienced so much time disliking myself and feeling like I wasn't enough. I had to build myself back up and do things to realize that I love myself. Now, I didn't realize that at the time until I look back and I'm like, whoa, I did that and now I'm okay. I started going to fitness classes and I didn't do it for the superficial reason of getting a revenge body. I did it because it was this self-care that it felt so good to go and just leave my phone, leave the world, and just be in tune with my body and be pushing myself and pushing my body to its limits. Cardio or running or any kind of fitness, it just clears your mind. That helped me so much. Another thing I did was I just poured into my friends and my family and myself so much more. I'm lucky I have so many amazing friends who are always there for me. Friendship is so important to me and friendship needs to be maintained and you have to work at it. It means a lot to do something for friends or be there for friends or just make an effort to hang out with them. So that was a huge thing too. And just myself, giving myself enough time to relax and do what I need. And then also I did a little bit of traveling. So I went to Europe with my sister. Traveling was just really good too because it reminded me how big the world is, how much is out there, and how minuscule my little issue was. I did a lot of working on myself, a lot of finding out how to be happy with myself. It only took me about like 3 months to really feel back. And then right around that time, a boy is knocking on the door. They say it always happens when you're not looking for it, and I wasn't looking for it. Even though I built myself back up, I was so happy with myself, I still wanted nothing to do with boys because I was like, okay, I finally got back to me and I'm happy by myself. I would just want to stay by myself because I'm happy with me. And right around that time is when one of my friends started saying, hey Monica, there's this guy that really wants to go on a date with you. So I was reluctant, but I agreed to go on a date with him. Once you get over someone, dating someone new can be hard. Our first date was a double date. That was super fun and it was a good way to get to know someone. There wasn't really any pressure there. And I must say, okay, I was waiting for my Uber home that night and he kissed me and it was so unexpected. Like, let me tell you, it was such a good kiss. A million points for Ben on the timing there. Like, I honestly will never forget that. So then when I got in the Uber, I was just kind of like, huh, what just happened? And the next day I was so excited. So then we went on more of a proper first date and it went well. It went as well as a first date could go. First dates are kind of awkward, but it was good. I was still excited about it and we planned on going on a second date. So then we go on the second date and again, it's good. But then afterwards, I just kind of got home and I wasn't feeling it. And I was so frustrated that I wasn't feeling it. And I wasn't feeling it because I realized this was gonna be hard, but the whole time getting to know him was comparing him to the old guy. And I would get sad that he was different from the old guy. And I was like, but he's not old guy. And so I was sad and I realized I was not over the old guy and I was so frustrated because I was like, God, this has taken up like over 3 years. Like, why do I still care about this guy and think about him? And I was so sad. And I was like, I'm not gonna talk to this new guy anymore. I'm just gonna not. So a week passes and new guy is kind of like, which is Ben, is kind of like texting me a little bit and trying to make plans, and I was just kind of like, oh, I'm busy this week. So the week passes and something in me just goes, you know what, you're looking at this completely wrong. New guy is different from old guy. Obviously, people are different. Those differences aren't a bad thing. They're actually a good thing. And you're never gonna get anywhere, you're never gonna get over this person if, yeah, you keep comparing them. Like, they are different and you're not looking at this right, Monica, and you need to give this another chance. So I decided to give it another chance. Thank God I did. Little did Ben know. Ben never knew this. He just thought I was busy for a week. He never knew I literally was contemplating just not talking to him anymore. And that was all on me. That was just me being weird. He did nothing wrong. I just thought I wasn't over it, when really I was just didn't know how to process like this newness and the oldness and everything, and how it was actually a good thing. And that can be hard, but that's why I wanted to talk about that, because when you date someone new, you shouldn't look at someone's differences as a bad thing. It's actually really exciting that they're different and new and hopefully better for you. So then I gave him another chance. We go on some more dates and the rest is history. I've been dating Ben for over 7 months now, I want to say, and I can honestly say I genuinely love him. He's such a great person. Like, it makes me, he's just like truly the best. And like, this is happy. I cry a lot, okay? I'm just like actually really happy I met him and gave it a chance. And I'm so thankful for him. And I can see now, looking back, how he's so much better for me. And he's an amazing person with so many amazing qualities. And I'm just really excited about where things are going. So, crying needs to stop now. It's just crazy because I didn't expect that at all. By cutting this guy out, I was not then searching for some guy. It was the opposite. I was just searching for myself. And what I've realized, and the whole theme of this video, what I want you guys to know is, if last summer I didn't do what I did, I'd be sitting here today in the same place I was. I wouldn't have grown as a person. I wouldn't have learned. I wouldn't have let people in. And by letting go, I was finally able to grow and let so many better things come my way. You can't see it now, but when you let go, you're making room for so many better things to come your way. If I wouldn't have cut that guy off, I know for a fact, I would have still felt not good enough. I still would have compared myself to other girls. I still would have gone on a few dates with Ben, but I know it wouldn't have gone anywhere because I still would have thought old guy was still kind of an option when he wasn't. It's just crazy to me, like, how much can happen when you finally let go. But you need to be ready to let go. And it took me a long time to be ready, but I've learned so much from it. I think the actual last thing I'll say is, I got comments from people in the video and in real life that were like, you know what, I guarantee you, just wait a few months, a year, whenever, at some point, he's gonna call you again, he's gonna text you, he's gonna wanna see you, he's gonna regret it, blah, 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 whatever. Life is not a movie. Like, he's not gonna come crying back. Like, I don't want that to happen. I just cut it off because I want to now move on. I decided to move on. And you guys, I just wanna say, that didn't happen. I've literally never heard from him since. So then I know another question would be like, okay, so like, if you've moved on, would you be friends with him again? And the answer to that is absolutely not. I believe that there are some people that come into your life and they stay in your life, but there's some people that come into your life and they're just a season, and they're just something for you maybe to learn from, and they're in your life for a little bit and then they're out. And that's exactly what he was. I don't want him ever back in my life. He hurt me horribly. I forgive him, yes, from a distance. I don't see it necessary to like try and be friends with someone again too. Some people really want that. I just don't need that. Like, I have enough friends. Sorry. So that's it, guys. A year later, this is me. I'm happy to be where I'm at today, and I don't regret a damn thing about the decision I made. So thank you guys for watching. If you're new here, you can subscribe to my channel. I upload every weekend. See you next weekend. Okay, bye.
For you and I, you give me your